Lana Newman Cruzy, and welcome to We've Got Books. And boy, do we ever! We are the authors, Anne Greene, Lana Newman Cruzy, and James Yarbrough. We're coming to you from the big sky country of Dallas-Fort Worth in Texas, where we have boot scooting. Some say we have southern accents, y'all, and spicy barbecue and Tex-Mex food. Delish.
I'm Anne Greene.
Hi, I'm James Yarbrough.
We'll be your hosts for We've Got Books, and we're excited to be connecting with you. We are authors who delight in telling you about our newest books, as well as interviewing other exciting Christian fiction writers about their books. Our goal is to introduce you to some great Christian fiction. We'll focus on getting to know authors and discover why we write books. We'll discuss fiction of different genres: suspense, romance, historical, mystery, women's fiction, humor, and westerns. Have you ever read a sensational book and wondered about the author? I have. How the genre and storyline were chosen, the plot and vision, the characters created. We'll sit around the table chatting to get to know each author and how his book was created. Also, because we are lovers of words and believe you are too, at times we will delve into interesting writing topics. So sit back and enjoy this ride into the literary world. Today, Jim Yarbrough will be interviewing Anne Greene, an award-winning author of 37 books.
Thank you, Lana. Anne, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself to get started?
I live in Allen, Texas, a few miles north of Dallas, and my hero husband is a retired colonel, Army Special Forces. Besides writing, I enjoy family, friends, and sharing adventures with my risk-taking husband, although I do draw the line at skydiving. Whether writing contemporary or historical, my 37 books celebrate the abundant life Jesus gives. I've won numerous awards for my books, and I love writing about alpha heroes who aren't afraid to fall on their knees in prayer, and about gutsy heroines. I hope my stories transport readers to new worlds and touch readers' hearts.
Well, among many other things, Anne, you are a military wife. So did you travel much? And if you did you write about places you visited?
I've enjoyed a thrilling life as a military wife, traveling with my husband to many overseas countries. I found Turkey to be one of the most exotic and set my suspense novel, Shadow of the Dagger, in Turkey. We vacationed in the British Isles, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, and I set a 2-book historical series in Scotland called Masquerade Marriage and Marriage by Arrangement. The books cover some of the most turbulent times Scotland faced, and I've always been interested in women leaving their comfort zone and entering exciting and even dangerous jobs. So you'll find my World War II books like Angel with Steel Wings engrossing, my historical novel, Trail of Tears, the story of John Ross, will have you in tears. If you like shorter reads, don't miss my 31 novellas, 7 of which have won awards.
Well, Anne, I can certainly attest that your books are exciting, and I particularly enjoy your historical novels and novellas. What book are we spotlighting today?
Today, I'd like to tell you about my detective mystery. Red is for Rookie. It's set right here in Texas, in the historic Fort Worth area.
Well, speaking for myself, I really enjoy detective mysteries. I know you like to start with the back cover copy, so would you mind reading the back cover?
You do know me, Jim. Thanks. Here's the back cover copy to Red is for Rookie. Tracking a kidnapper is an unusual assignment for a private investigator. But Matt is Holly's lifelong friend. During the race to save him, Holly discovers more than she bargained for. Matt's in love with her. Holly's world has never been more dangerous. Her mother's convinced Holly will end up dead, like her father, so she hires a PI to protect Holly. Holly needs Stryker's expertise, though she risks her heart working with the handsome, danger-loving man. Stryker's past returns to haunt him. The kidnapper wants revenge. Stryker risks his life for Holly. This dangerous case transforms Holly from a rookie into a seasoned PI. But with the two men turning her life upside down, can Holly take the heat?
That's an intriguing storyline, Anne. Thanks for reading that. I wonder if I can impose upon you to read an excerpt for the listeners.
Okay. How about where the hero and heroine meet? I might mention this book contains a lot of humor. Jim, would you read the male parts?
I'd be happy to.
The back story about this is that Holly is providing security at a Valentine meet-a-thon for rich singles. The single men ticket holders have all been assigned to different tables, and this is in Chapter 1, Holly's point of view. I policed my half of the room, then headed back toward the champion wrestler table. Big, warm fingers grasped my arm with just enough pressure to make me break and take notice. The dark-haired, fine-looking man extended his other hand. A sense of recognition nagged me, but I didn't know him. He sat with his back to the wall at the attorney table, catty-corner to the wrestler enclave. I shook his waving hand, feeling warmth and solid strength I hadn't expected to find in a lawyer's grip. He wore his dark suit like other men wore uniforms, daring, proud, indomitable. Candlelight reflected mystery in his brown eyes. With the kind of smile you see on a man given an unexpected dish of ice cream, he stood and offered me the empty chair his polished wingtips had guarded.
Sit a while.
His compelling expression excluded everyone in the room but me. I didn't want the invitation, but my feet, aching from the unaccustomed spiked heels, did so. So I slid into the seat. Thanks, but just for a moment. Sophisticated women glared, shoppers vying for the attorney's attention. He flashed a smile and motioned to the nearby champion wrestler table.
Those men want to meet you.
I'll be back. One woman wearing heavy eyeliner trailed her hand along the top of the attorney's chair and threw him a seductive glance before she moved away. The other ladies stepped over to the strong men's den.
Thanks, man. One wrestler nodded, his long blonde hair falling over his square-jawed face.
I turned to the attorney, a real James Bond type. Unwanted sparks ignited my insides. Too intense to be handsome and too electric to be ignored, he was big, tense, and concentrated. I'd never met a man who looked so ready for adventure. Here was trouble, masquerading as charm.
They're going to love this at the office, Bond drawled.
I blinked. The heat in his eye warmed me like sun-melted chocolate. The challenge in his steady gaze stiffened my backbone. The office? I noticed the bulge under his armpit, not quite hidden by his well-fitting dark suit jacket. Tingles thrilled my spine.
Stryker Black. You're Holly Garden.
Recognition hit me. The out-of-uniform cop I'd spotted, standing in the foyer with his back to me. How had he settled in so quickly? His proximity caused my eyelid to do its thing. Most people never see my twitch. I hoped Stryker didn't. The quivers make me look unprofessional. How do you know my name?
Looked up your file at our office.
Suspicion brought sudden anger, biting into me like the Genesis serpent. To keep my temper in check, I whispered, "You're a police officer?"
Used to be. Now a PI. Ace Investigations.
I shot to my feet, snagged a 4-inch stiletto on the chair rung, and lurched forward, catching the table's edge to keep from landing in his lap. With my nose inches from his ear, his masculine scent broke through my protective aura. Trying not to breathe in his woodsy, nautical aroma, I scooted away. Because I wasn't breathing freely, my whisper sounded weird and nasal. I want you to leave.
Why should I?
I stared and forgot to lower my voice. You're not needed. The 4 lawyers seated around Stryker perked up. Fat and thin, they gazed at me like I was a valuable bequest in a contested will. One leaned so far forward on the table his French cuff dipped into his coffee.
Stryker remained cool. I'm sure you're acquainted with a lady named Violet Garden.
My palms turned sweaty. My own mother thought I couldn't fill Dad's shoes. She thought I didn't have the guts to be a detective. She thought I'd fail. Knees weak, I slid back into the chair and gazed down. My fingers itched to fiddle with the clasp on my glittery bag, but I held them still. I couldn't let the PI see how his words curdled my self-esteem.
Protection was the word Ms. Garden used.
I spoke low, not wanting anyone else to hear. She didn't. She couldn't. I clamped my lips. He didn't need to know how his words upset me.
Hard to believe?
He gave me a hard-boiled, tight-lipped Bogart smile. Sitting so close, he didn't look like a cop, or a PI for that matter. More like a very, very sexy bad guy. Mafia or something. My throat closed. How could Mom do this to me? Mom asked for you? Personally?
She asks for Ace's top man.
I whispered. Luck of the draw? We'd been talking in hushed tones, but now the PI, a beguiling smirk on his face, spoke louder.
I won the lottery.
His dark eyes spoke of secrets, hinted at danger, pulled me in even as they warned me off. Okay, you work for our competition, and you're here? I'd staked out Ace's investigation to see what I was up against. So why hadn't I laid eyes on him there? And he was an iceful. What an eyeful. Plus, he was feeding me a line. And good at it. Too good. I scooted my chair away from him. Not that long ago I'd been dumped by another charmer. I wasn't about to nibble this bait. Even if I had wanted to chance another romance, God had laid out other plans for me. I had a new vocation. I had Dad's murder to solve and his reputation to sanitize. I needed to prove to the city of Dallas and the entire police force that Dad had not been a dirty private investigator. If I failed, our investigative firm would dribble on down the drain. I lifted my chin. Even if I had time to spend with a man, I'd never choose this smoothie. But I did need to size up the competition. Investigator rule number 1, know your enemy. So I did an about face and turned on the sugar. Stryker, is it? I smiled sweetly. I thought I had every PI in Dallas pegged. Glad to meet you. Stryker's focused expression didn't change.
Likewise.
He laid a strong hand on my bare arm, raising the hair with a single light touch.
Stay a minute more. Tell me about yourself. A male voice interrupted Stryker. Let's be judicious here. Fair is fair. There's 4 attorneys at this table, and 1 lovely woman. Time to share. My name's Jeff Davidson of Davidson, Hilliard & Greene. I'm sure you've heard of my firm, and this is...
While Jeff introduced the other 3 suits, Stryker leaned back and scanned the room, doing his security thing, with me quickly shaking hands around the table The trio of women who'd huddled around Stryker earlier made their move. Rising from the nearby champion wrestler table, as if directed by an unseen choreographer, they mobbed Stryker. I sucked in a breath. His mouth hanging ajar, Stryker looked stunned. 3 wrestlers stood too, pushed aside their chairs, and towered over Stryker. I glimpsed Matt striding across the ballroom toward us, security face on. The big blonde wrestler, who seemed to be their leader, rasped,
"We wasn't just twiddling our thumbs over here. We was talking with these ladies."
His expression looked downright testy. He raised a fist, looking about to deck Stryker. The 3 glamour girls stepped away from Stryker and melted into the crowd. Prepared to intervene, I grabbed my purse and wriggled to the edge of my seat, curious to see what Stryker would do. This scene was plain screwy. Were the wrestlers trying to pick a fight? Stryker's face grew leaner, showing clear bone definition. A paper-thin scar slicing through his cleft chin whitened. He stood and faced the 3 muscled men, their crimson cummerbunds flashing.
So we want our ladies back. Take them."
Cool it, you guys. I unclasped my purse, thinking I might need my gun. The 4th wrestler jumped to his feet, tipping his chair backwards. It landed with a thud on the carpeted floor. A solid wall of red cummerbunds circled Stryker. I shot off my chair. 1 mat pounder grabbed my arm and hauled me toward his table.
"And we want this one too."
I jerked my arm loose. My abrupt movement caused my ankle to turn in one of the tricky stilettos. Yow! I stumbled. Before I could catch my balance, I lost the shoe on my twisted ankle and fell to my knees. Events fast-forwarded. 2 wrestlers pummeled Stryker. Someone kicked my evening bag. On hands and knees, I chased it under the attorney table to rescue my gun. I glimpsed Matt confronting the other 2 wrestlers and attempted to squirm out from under the table to escort the muscled jocks to the nearest exit. Crouched on hands and knees, my dress tightened around me like shrink wrap and stopped me cold. A lawyer squatted beside me.
"Here, let me help."
One of the wrestlers slammed him backwards with an open palm. With a crash and tinkle of broken glass, the table flipped onto its side. A white and silver rain of crockery and cutlery poured down. A plate of romaine lettuce and blue cheese dressing slapped against my thigh, releasing the odor of salad-splashed velvet. My vision slowed, as if I starred in a surreal movie. Mind-scanning possible actions, my skirt creeping higher above my knees, I crawled free. Was this a diversion for a robbery? I had to take control. Still on hands and knees, I smelled something acrid and sulfuric. The lighted candle centerpiece smoldered at the edge of the tablecloth. With a soft whoosh, flames leaped to life. I grabbed the closest thing at hand, a large slab of prime rib, and beat the flames with the semi-rare meat until they died in whiffs of smoke beneath charred beef. Smelling charred steak, mixed with scorched hair and fearful of what I would find, I touched my eyebrows and bangs. Crispy, but still there. Gasps and murmurings told me the crowd grew around us. Heavy feet shuffled, and I jerked my hand back to keep it from getting trampled. Fist struck flesh, accompanied by groans and colorful language. I couldn't believe such a brouhaha erupted with so little provocation. Something smelled fishy, and it wasn't the shrimp cocktail sauce dripping onto the carpet. I was about to spring to my feet when a body thudded to within an inch of me and lay still. Stryker. One look at Stryker's bloody face, and I all but keeled over him. My pulse spiked, pushing me into unthinking mode. Okay, so I lost it here. Thoughts of my job flew out the window, but only for a few seconds. Still on my knees, I fished in my clutch for my cell phone and dialed 911. Dead zone. Resisting the urge to throw the instrument at a wrestler, I dropped the useless thing back into my purse. As quickly as the commotion started, it ended. The dull thud of fists on flesh died. Fingers and knees digging into the thick carpet, I lifted one hand and pressed 2 fingers against the carotid artery in Stryker's muscular neck. Warm skin, steady pulse. Lord, please, don't let him be hurt badly. With all quiet above me, I assumed Matt held everything under control. I loosened Stryker's red power tie and rubbed his big, limp hand between both of mine. His lashes fanned across those high cheekbones were longer than any man had a right to own. Other than being a little bloody and lying motionless, he looked fine, too fine. But I didn't have to remind myself that Mom hired him. Men's polished dress shoes, accompanied by glittering high heels, moved close enough for me to touch. Furor at the ballroom doors made me look up. That was fast. Matt must have gotten through to EMS. But doubt nagged my brain. Too fast. Way too fast. Before I could follow up my hunch, the crowd opened, and 2 blue uniformed men carrying oxygen paraphernalia, a stretcher, and a medical kit hustled to the table. The EMS team ignored Stryker, who lay concealed by a drooping tablecloth, with only his long legs and feet protruding. One medic knelt beside another stretched-out body. I struggled to my feet, red dress hiked almost mid-thigh to identify the victim. Matt! I rushed over in time to see the medic jab a syringe into my co-investigator's limp arm. Electrical impulses spiked my nerves. I'd never seen an emergency team do that. The first medic finished a cursory check for broken bones. Then both men heaved Matt onto the stretcher and hustled him through the crowded ballroom. Juggling on 1 4-inch heel and 1 bare foot, I elbowed my way through the crowd after them. Which hospital? They mumbled something incoherent and disappeared through the hotel's exterior door. Lord, please take care of Matt. He's a good friend. Keep him safe. I started after them. The blonde wrestler clutched my arm, stopping me from following them out to the ambulance. Then he smiled crookedly, straightened his bow tie, and righted his cummerbund.
Don't look so worried. The PI's in good hands.
I stiffened. How do you know Matt's a PI? The wrestler frowned and clamped his lips. Shivers snaked my spine. Something was very wrong.
Wow, Anne and Jim, that was exciting. Listeners, I know you'll want to read Red is for Rookie. I know I do. You can find Red is for Rookie on Amazon.com. In the search bar, type Red is for Rookie by Anne Greene. That's Anne with an E on the end, and Green also with an E on the end. I guarantee you will want to read this book over and over. And of course, Anne's books have no graphic sex or graphic violence. And visit Anne on her website, AnneGreenAuthor.com, where you can join her once a month newsletter and learn of her travels in her husband's military career and get to know her better. She'd love to hear from you. That's about all the time we have today. Please come to join us next time when we 3 authors discuss our own James Yarbrough and his book, Killer App. So join us at Spotify and other places where you enjoy your podcast. We're so glad you joined us, and we'd love to hear from you. We look forward to your input about our podcast, and we'll listen to your suggestions of authors you'd like to hear from. You can email us at we'vegotbooks33@gmail.com. That's WEVE, no apostrophe, GOTBOOKS 33@gmail.com. I'm Lana Cruzy, and for Anne Greene and James Yarbrough, goodbye for now, and until we meet again, read a good book.